Right, so I'm back with a pretty interesting video. I've been wanting to make this video for a while now, but as the 25-26 season is coming very soon, I've decided to make this video, and I'm still gonna make some more videos. I have a little bit more time than I have had. That's why some of these uploads have been a little bit scattered. The last one, it took over 2 weeks, not to produce, not to make, but just overall to find the time to actually edit it and put it out. But anyways, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the past few videos that I've been making. There is more content down the pipeline, and hopefully more, better content, more, personalized, I guess. Talking more about like my likes and how I see the game, but also, of course, the EAFC content will not stop. I enjoy making it. It's very fun, and I just overall like putting out videos like that. But I also like these videos right here where I get to talk about kind of my perspective on how I see the game. But of course, if you clicked on this video, you will already know what this is about. It's about my favorite teams in several leagues, mostly in Europe, but also just around the world. And yeah, why not start with, of course, my favorite ever team, my main team. They are number one. If this team faced any other team that I talk about through the rest of this video, I'm supporting this team. It will always be FC Barcelona. They are my favorite team in Spain. They are my favorite team in Europe overall. It is FCB. It is FC Barcelona. I have the most kits of FC Barcelona. This is, of course, this is the one that Messi wore last. I actually had the number 10, but I watched it too many times, and I watched it poorly too many times. But I have my own name. This is my favorite ever jersey of Barcelona, the black and gold, when Ansu Fati was turning it up in his second ever season. And then, of course, this is one of the older ones, the 1999 season. This one has Rivaldo on the back, and I have several other ones, and I will most likely be buying at the very least, 2 more. Of course, the 25-26 season, they have some fantastic jerseys in my personal opinion. But yes, FC Barcelona is my favorite team in all of Europe, in the entire world. I follow them. I try to watch as many games as I can of them, even the preseason ones, even the friendlies, even ones that may not matter. But they're my favorite team in Spain. For La Liga, it's FC Barcelona. It just has to be. Nobody else can top them. Although I will say I am a pretty decent fan, or I do enjoy watching Real Betis, Real Sociedad, and Atletico Madrid just a little bit. But of course, FC Barcelona all the way. They are my favorite team. That's who I'm going to be supporting, and will continue to support for the rest of my life, basically. But yeah, of course, for this 25-26 season, I'm supporting FC Barcelona. Moving on to arguably my second favorite team, at least club team, of course. The second favorite team that I follow is this team right here, Mexico, the Mexican national team. Sorry, I don't know why I was about to say Spanish. The Mexican national team, but in the Liga MX, of course, the team that I have to support, the team that I have supported for basically my entire life is Chivas Guadalajara. I have to do it, but I love to do it because, my mom was born in Guadalajara, Mexico, should I say, and of course my dad was born in a smaller city nearby. But yeah, we are all supporters of Chivas. We support them regardless if they're good or not, and plus I'm very thankful that they have like this sort of national pride. We're one of the few teams in the Liga MX that kind of don't really like to sign, or don't sign foreigners. We try to keep it within the country, keep it for the Mexicans, so we can develop them, and hopefully they can lead us to glory. And it's been a few years since we've actually led some good years, but Chivas will always be my team for Liga MX. Moving on to the MLS, the country where I reside. Unfortunately, I don't have the jersey for the team. I know I have it somewhere around here. I just couldn't find it, and I really wanted to put out this video. But anyway, so I'm wearing my Japanese jersey. Funnily enough, I'm a huge fan of Blue Lock. I love anime. Blue Lock is one of my favorite anime, and I have Isekai on the back, hence why I got this jersey. I really like this jersey. Anyways, yes, you may think I'm an Inter Miami fan, which I am, hence why I have 2 jerseys. One of them has Messi, the other one does not. This was actually a gift. But regardless, I do love Inter Miami, mostly because of Messi, but also because of Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets, and of course, Jordi Alba. But my main team that I follow in the MLS, it's LA Galaxy. It just has to be. I've been a huge supporter of LA Galaxy for many years now. My sister is a huge supporter, and hopefully we should be able to watch more games. That is actually my most viewed video on this channel, is when we went to go watch LA Galaxy versus LAFC, and it was a very, very tough game. And that was such a fun game to watch. I can't lie. At the Rose Bowl, I lost my voice, and it was one of the ones. It was the video that kind of I enjoyed so much recording it, but also editing it, and also just so many quotes came from it. At least some quotes that I remember. Me and my friends and my family still like make jokes about it. But yes, in the MLS, I support LA Galaxy. Moving on back to Europe, and we're actually moving on to Italia, if you didn't already notice. But I am wearing the AC Milan kit. I do have an Inter Milan kit right here, and a Juventus kit right here to my right. But there's still many other ones that I want to get, including Napoli, Fiorentina, mostly because I want the purple, but also Fiorentina is a pretty good team. But and even Roma. Anyways, I am actually wearing this AC Milan kit. This is actually the kit. I really love this kit. I'm a huge fan of Pulisic. I'm a huge fan of Santiago Jimenez, who has joined AC Milan. Hopefully he does really well. And yes, if you couldn't already tell, AC Milan is the team that I will be supporting, not only for the 25-26 season, but they're basically my favorite Italian team right now, despite the fact that they're going through a very, very tough period right now. They finished 9th last season. Hopefully they can finish within the European spots next. That's what I'm hoping for. Inter Milan, fortunately, they kicked us out. They kicked out my beloved Barcelona, but I still respect them a lot, hence why I have the kit. This actually has Nicolo Varela, so I really love this kit. And then Juventus, this has Matthijs de Ligt. Obviously, he's no longer at the team. He's already switched twice. But still really respect Juventus. They're a great team. But yeah, I would say I'm a fan of AC Milan, especially now that they have a Mexican by their side. And they're just overall a very respectful team. I mean, they have the second most Champions League behind Real Madrid. And just overall, their history, Paolo Maldini, and so many other amazing players like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, which has also played for these two teams. But don't worry about that. Also, I just realized I covered up That's fine. Whatever. But AC Milan is the team that I support in the Serie A, also known as the Italian League. But I do respect a lot of teams like the ones that I mentioned: Inter Milan, Juventus, Roma, and so many other ones. But respect to the Italian League, I will be watching AC Milan a little bit closer now next season. But yeah, moving on to the next one. So we're moving on to France now, or Ligue 1, the Uber Eats League or whatever. I don't know if it's still sponsored by them, but funnily enough, I actually got this jersey mostly because I really like the design. I don't know about you, but it's pretty cool. White with a little bit of red and blue down the middle. And overall, Olympique Lyon are a fantastic team. But I bought this way before I knew that they were going to go down to the second division. But still, they are still not the team that I support in the league. I only have one PSG jersey. It's not the nicest one. I got it as like a team that I played for like a few years ago. But regardless, PSG, fully respected. You know, they won the Champions League last season, and they are trying to build a dynasty, and they very much can. And yeah, we gotta be very careful. They are arguably the best team in Europe right now. But that's not the team that I'm gonna be supporting this season. At the very least, this team that I'm gonna talk about, I am gonna support them at the very least for just this season, 25-26. And if you guys know me, obviously I'm a Barcelona fan, and I don't know if you knew this, but I'm actually a pretty big Paul Pogba fan. And by that, I mean that I'm going to be supporting AS Monaco. They are basically my French team for this next season, possibly more seasons, but at the very least I will be supporting AS Monaco. I will be trying to watch as many games as I can for them and seeing them play, especially rooting for Ansu Fati. I really think that he can, rebuild his form, rebuild what he could be. Maybe not, to like Lamine Yamal levels or even like that close, but just be a very solid player who can get 20 goals a season, every season, once he reaches his peak a little bit. It's a little bit more fitness, a little bit more practice, and I think at AS Monaco, he can definitely do that. I thought Brighton, he could do that, but I think AS Monaco might be a better level for him. But yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do, especially alongside the likes of Paul Pogba, who is returning back into football after a little bit of a break. We'll call it that. But anyways, AS Monaco. Yeah, you got a new supporter right here, even though I'm wearing a rival. Don't worry about that. So now we move on to the Bundesliga, or Germany, of course. This is arguably one of the main reasons why I even wanted to make this video, because for the Bundesliga, I don't have a traditional team that I support, at least in the broader sense. I love Bayern, I love Dortmund, they're amazing sides, and I even like RB Leipzig. I have a kit for them as well, but also Bayer Leverkusen, which hopefully I will get a kit. Funnily enough, this actually is the number 17 for Florian Wirtz. I have words on the back of this jersey, but yeah, hence why I'm wearing this Germany kit. By the way, I really love this kit. Love the sleeves. The sleeves, magnifique. But the main reason why I'm not wearing either of these two, because I don't support them in Bundesliga. As much as I love and respect them, the main team that I support is actually SC Freiburg. I know most of you may be thinking, who are SC Freiburg? Well, actually, they're a German side that were, flirting with relegation a few seasons ago. And, it's been a little bit longer, closer to 10 years. I can't remember exactly, but I'm a huge fan of SC Freiburg. I don't fully watch all their games, although I am trying to, but they are my favorite team in the Bundesliga. If you want to ask me why, the main reason is because I was playing, I believe it was either FIFA 19 or FIFA 20. I think it was 19. I was playing in a career mode, and my player all of a sudden got a contract offer from Freiburg, and I'm like, you know what? I'll go to it. So I decided to go to Freiburg, and I realized they were in the second division. I'm like, okay, I didn't know this, but sure. We got them out of the second division. We played another season with them, and I fell in love with the club. I just played with them as a striker. I loved it, and since then, I've been doing a lot of cool, I've been, focusing on them a little bit more, supporting them, making, watching them, following them. I think they finished in 5th place. Unfortunately, they made it to the Europa League, which might be good for them. I think it's basically their level. But what I've noticed about them is that they've gotten to top 4, top 5 races, and then the next season they fall off because of the European competitions that they're in. Hopefully, they can push on. I know they are thinking about selling. If not, they've already sold Ritsu Doan. They've sold Sidia, I believe. Mark Flecken used to be at the team. Now they have Atubolu. But still, I do want to do a little bit more with them. SC Freiburg, they're an amazing team. I want to support them, follow them. I want to watch as many games as I can for this season. They are arguably my second favorite team in Europe, behind Barcelona, just because, I don't know, I have this really cool attachment to them, I feel, based off of just playing FIFA or EAFC now. Speaking of, there might be a little bit more that we'll do with that. SC Freiburg is my Bundesliga team for the 25-26 season, but also continuing on. But I do really respect Bayern Munich, Dortmund, RB Leipzig, Leverkusen, and even Frankfurt from time to time. Also Hoffenheim. Actually, no, Schalke. Schalke is a really good team. But Freiburg, my favorites, of course. Moving on to arguably the 6th best league in Europe or in the world. I don't know. It's not a top 5 league, but it can be. And it has been previously, I think. But anyways, regardless, I'm not getting into the whole nitty-gritty of that. But in the Netherlands, we have the Eredivisie. And you might not be able to tell which team this is, because this is actually an anniversary kit for Ajax. And I have the number 14 on my back. Obviously, it's my favorite number. After my favorite player, Johan Cruyff, or Cruyff. Cruyff? I'm going to say Cruyff, just for now, just because it's a little bit easier to pronounce for me. And I also just got this new kit, the Netherlands kit. It actually has Marco van Basten on the back. It has number 12. I did not know that he wore the number 12, but I really like it. It's a little bit brighter than I would have liked, but I will take it. I like it, and I really, really like this shirt. I would like to get another Ajax kit that actually has the, the club logo. But I really like this one. The number 14 on the back looks amazing. It feels amazing. Also, it's a long sleeve. I'm not really used to wearing long sleeves, hence why I have the sleeves rolled up. But I like rolling up my sleeves. Anyways, also, I think I look pretty good in it. But regardless, Ajax is my favorite team in the Eredivisie. They're the team that I will support. I believe they just lost the league title last season. It was heartbreaking for them. And honestly, they have been struggling the past seasons ever since, that semi-final Champions League appearance that they had a few seasons ago. They've been struggling a little bit, especially with the likes of Feyenoord and PSV stepping up a little bit more, having pretty decent managers, pretty decent players, like the likes of Arne Slot, and of course players like Santi Jimenez. But regardless, Ajax are still my favorite Eredivisie team. They are just, honestly, if you know even a little bit of Barcelona history, you'll know how connected Ajax and Barcelona are. Pretty similar in values, similar in technique, and just overall developing the youngsters from their academy, and giving great importance to not only winning but also winning beautifully, playing beautiful football, total football. And of course, the main person attached to them, or the main connector between the two, my favorite player, Johan Cruyff. So pretty obvious that they're my favorite team, and they're the team that I support for this upcoming season and moving forward. But Ajax, massive respect. I really don't want to take this off because this feels good. But anyways, we move forward. moving on to another league that is in contention to be the top 5, Liga Portugal, or Liga NOS as they used to be. But it is, of course, the Portuguese league, and I'm wearing Sporting CP. I love this team. Love is a strong word. I like this team. I also respect Porto and Benfica respectively, but the main reason why I even have this kit is because I love their player that just moved to Arsenal. It is Viktor Gyökeres. He has been a player that I have loved for a while now, even since his Coventry City days. I was hoping for him to get a big move. He did, and then he got an even bigger move going to Arsenal, which I might very much cop a Arsenal kit with Gyökeres in the back, especially since he's going to be wearing my favorite number 14. Anyways, moving on. Let's stay within this league, Liga Portugal. It's tough. Honestly, it's very tough. The reason why I kind of saved it for last, or not last, one of the last leagues that we're going to talk about, is because I don't really know who to support, especially now that Gyökeres is gone. But Benfica have a really good players, but I mean a lot of them have been sold. Porto, they're honestly just their aesthetic, blue and white. I kind of like it. And then you have, Sporting, and they've had really good players in the past. They still do, and I don't really know who to support here. You guys can go ahead and comment down in this video to let me know what's your favorite team in Portugal, if you even have one. But I think for now I'm going to keep it open. But right now I think I'm leaning more towards Sporting, mostly just because I have the kit. Even if Gyökeres isn't there anymore, I still fully respect this team. And I mean, they still have Wenda, I believe. They do have a lot of players like Inacio and what is his name? Usman Diomande. I think I made a little short a few years back, and I honestly really liked just talking about him. Yeah, we're going to go with Sporting. I know I made it just on the fly. Sporting is my favorite team, and that's going to be the team that I support for the 25-26 season. I'll even say that they'll win the league this season. I may not make a full-on video about predictions for the Liga Portugal, but I will say that Sporting will win the league. We'll see if they do, but I do want to say that I massive respect and massive credit to Benfica and Porto respectively, but Sporting is my side. Now, another main reason why I even made this video as well is because, I mean, if you haven't noticed, I haven't talked about the Premier League, but here I am, wearing a Liverpool jersey, having a Man United top right next to me, and then a Man City top to my left. Not to mention the fact that I've worn my Chelsea jersey several times, and I also have an Arsenal top and a Spurs top. Yeah, I have the full top 6 plus Leicester City. And I might be getting some more. Who knows? Anyways, I don't have a Premier League side. I really don't. I even making this video, I fully don't. I wanted to have one by the time I made this video. Still don't. I respect these teams. All these teams, there's many players that I like of each of them. I mean, Marcus Rashford, but he's no longer there, but still Bruno Fernandes, Thijs de Ligt, and then you have Erling Haaland, Nico Gonzalez, Rodri, so many other players, and of course, Liverpool. The main reason I even got this Liverpool jersey was because of the tragic passing of Diogo Jota. I have his name and number on the back. I don't know if you can tell. Let me see. Right there, Diogo Jota. Hopefully you can see that. But yeah, I decided to get the away kit because I really liked it, and also because I wanted a Liverpool kit, and I thought, what better than to kind of honor his memory by, first of all, wearing the jersey of the team that won the Premier League last season, but also to honor the memory of Diogo Jota, and of course his younger brother, Andre Silva, who, share the last name. Rest in peace to both of them. It's very tragic. Of course, this goes beyond football, sports, and I don't want to get too depressing, but yeah, I just wanted to honor him by getting a jersey of my own to, just show my gratitude, because it is very sad and very tragic that it happened. It's been a bit now, but it still hurts to this day. I know I would look at online, see a few pictures, videos, and I would get sad. Even though I'm not the hugest Liverpool fan, even if I'm not the biggest Portugal fan or anything, I just always respected Diogo Jota. And even if it wasn't Diogo Jota, if it was any soccer player, any person in the world, it'd be tragic. It'd be sad, so young. Anyways, we move on, but we don't. We never forget. Diogo Jota will always be in our hearts. Same with Andre Silva. But moving on and back into the video. The topic at hand, of course, I have no Premier League side. Honestly, it's still open into interpretation. I don't know who I'm going to follow for the 25-26 season, and I want to kind of choose one. Man United is kind of appealing to me just because they're in a very tough spot, and I like rooting for the underdog, and I can see them getting better, but I still don't want to. I don't know, because they're not really I don't know, their values don't fully align with Barcelona's either. Of course, I have to go back to Barcelona, they're my favorite team. But not only that, I don't know, I really respect Man City, which have been heavily linked to Barcelona because they have Pep Guardiola and they have a lot of Spanish players, or just overall tiki-taka football, mostly because of Guardiola. But also Liverpool, they're a fantastic side. They just won the Premier League, so I kind of don't want to choose them because they've done a great job in the transfer market and just won the Premier League, and also just because like they did some despicable things to Barcelona in the Champions League. Still have trauma, but it's okay. And Arsenal, great choice, but again, I don't know, a little bit unsteady there. I kind of want to pick kind of a smaller side, and I think Newcastle would be great, but they also have like the Saudi money. You know, it's not perfect underdog, you know. But then I was thinking maybe a West Ham or an Everton. And yeah, they're still up there. They really still are up there for me to try to make a decision on whether or not I should follow or support them. That's what I was trying to say. But also, I think the main team that kind of is like attracting me right now, Nottingham Forest is also up there, I will say. But I kind of gotta say Leeds. I know they just got promoted. I will say, in the footballing tier, the English footballing tier, obviously they just made it to the championship, but Wrexham is my side. They're my favorite Welsh team. They're my favorite team within the English football pyramid, but they're in the championship. And I could easily see them going down to the third division, but if they stay in the championship and eventually come up to the Premier League, they're my favorite team. They will definitely be the favorite team in England. For now, they're not in the Premier League. So I will say Leeds is arguably my favorite team right now, or they're the team that I'm going to be most supporting and most following right now. I really hope that they do stay in the Premier League. Sunderland is also a really good choice. Leicester City is a great choice, but again, they just dropped down to the championship. I actually have a Leicester kit up there. But regardless, still up for grabs. If I'm going to pick a team that's like still staying in the Premier League, I have to say like a West Ham, Newcastle, maybe even United. But it's still up there. I really don't know who to choose. Aston Villa, maybe. They've won a Champions League in the past. Possibly. But yeah, I'd probably say, for the bigger teams, for the top six, I'd probably say Man United, Man City, or Arsenal. It's between them three. For the lower sides that are still consistent in the Premier League, I'd have to say West Ham or Newcastle. And for the newly promoted sides, I just have to go Leeds United. Obviously, I'm a huge Mini Minter fan. He's a Leeds United fan. And I really like the kit for next season. Hopefully, I can get that one as well. But I'm still not going to say officially what's my favorite team in the English Premier League because it's so difficult for me to pick. And this is actually the last league that we're going to cover. But yeah, I have to say, it's open to interpretation. Let me know why I should follow your team if you do support a certain team in the Premier League. This is why I saved it for last, because I don't know who to pick. But yes, again, this was very fun to make. I can't believe I basically just showcased a lot of my jerseys that I have, but also was able to say who I liked from each league. It was very fun, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. But Barcelona are, of course, my favorite team of all of them. Like, as I pointed out at the very beginning, Barcelona is just my team. Barcelona will forever be my favorite team of all time, and I will continue to follow them. I pointed out the teams that I like from each league, respectively, mostly in Europe. Obviously, that's kind of what I focus on, but of course, a little bit outside of Europe, like Mexico and the US, other leagues like the Belgian league, and, you know, like Argentina, Brazil. Those are a little bit tougher. I don't really watch them. I don't fully have access to watching them either. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I also do still refrain, or, you know, I keep my right to change teams, I guess, as seasons go on, but they are basically the teams that I'm going to be supporting, or at least following, at the very least following these teams for this upcoming season. But I do get attached to a lot of teams and just players overall, whether that be moving or stuff like that. I do that all the time, so don't expect me to stick with one team every single time. I know bandwagoning, but it's mostly just the players. I like to follow the players. I like to see beautiful football, even beautiful kits as well, like this one. I love this kit. But also just seeing how players develop. I know it may be a little controversial, but still, one thing that I will say though, I'm not putting up Barcelona. No matter what happens to Barcelona, no matter who leaves, no matter who comes in, Barcelona will forever be my favorite team. That is for certain. I just wanted to give you a little bit of more light onto who I would like to follow, and I just keep looking at my closet, and there's so many jerseys there, and I still want a few more. And by a few, I mean like probably 20. Am I addicted to it? Who knows? But regardless, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. Down in the comments, let me know what team you support, whether that be in the leagues that I covered, some leagues that I didn't cover, or some teams that you would like me to kind of touch on or talk about in future videos. And let me know which ones, you know, are your favorites, some that you kind of like but maybe don't fully support. Just follow them just because, you know, the kits are nice, or some of the players that are there pretty cool. I also like the Mexican players, hence why I love AC Milan and other players and other teams like that, just because they have a Mexican on their side. But anyways, I will stop my yap and we'll continue to outro this video, hopefully. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.